So I figured out how to make this work. You know? That's coming up on this stream of the Artist Studio. I need to work on my intros. Welcome back to the Artist Studio, everyone. So, last week we were starting on a series of Zelda Fairies that I've been kind of mulling over in my head ever since we created this guy back here. I've been wanting to do an updated version that looks a bit cleaner, has a better design to it overall. There was quite a few hitches to this design that I think we can really improve on, and I'm really glad that we took a bit of time between this stream and the last one, because I came up with something really cool. So I've been battling this problem that I've been having with AA batteries, in that their output isn't quite as much voltage as I would desire for a battery. The thing that I'm coming up against is that I want to be able to have a very portable art piece, but the moment I want to add LEDs to it, then I have to add at least 4 of them, and that gets a lot of space. So I started thinking, how can I make this work? And then I remembered something. About a year ago, shortly after I finished this guy, I had this thought already that how am I going to make LEDs more energy efficient? And I just completely forgot that I ordered a bunch of resistors that would be able to step down higher voltages of upwards to probably about 20 volts, and be able to step it down to the required amount needed for just about any LEDs. I don't have those specific numbers anymore. What I do remember is that these are a 68 ohm resistor, and it just works for me. It's obviously, like, I went down a rabbit hole of LED forums to find out how I could do this safely, how I could power a bunch of LEDs using various power sources, because this guy back here is plugged basically into a wall adapter, and there isn't much controlling the power flow other than what's in that wall adapter itself. So that means these LEDs that are in this have been slightly overpowered for the majority of their life. That does decrease their lifespan over time, and I kind of estimate that this is going to die in probably like 5 to 10 years. But we could do better. We could probably make an LED last closer to 25. So that's what we're gonna do with these resistors, is we're going to try and reduce the voltage to the required amount needed for an LED. And in testing this, I learned a few things. So I'll get into sharing a few of the quirks of LED wiring I learned when I was playing with this. But I did successfully find a way to step this 9 volts down to a more appropriate voltage. I just can't remember exactly what it works out to be. Whatever 68 ohms is. Yeah, I don't remember those calculations. I did them somewhere. I could probably find them on a piece of paper somewhere, but the math is beyond me at this point again. I have to relearn it again. But what I did notice when I did wire these up, when I used a single resistor, it did produce a significant amount of heat. So I had thought, what happens if I added another one? Does that reduce the heat or reduce the brightness of the LEDs? So I ended up testing that out, and sure enough, it reduced the heat. And so I ended up doing some Googling, and sure enough, that's what the intended use of a resistor. The higher resistance you have in your circuit, the less heat it produces. So that's where we are going to be kind of venturing into the fairy design. We kind of need to do a redesign of this guy, because last week I had shown our we were running all of our power through this armature where the battery compartments would be kind of affixed to the clamp at the bottom. Yeah, I don't really care for it. I don't really care for it either. It is a very clunky design, and this is why I've been mulling it over a lot for the last week. And luckily, I did find a solution. So I have these old pill bottles that fit a 9-volt battery perfectly. And there's actually a little bit of wiggle room as well on the bottom where I can hide the snap connector for the 9-volt battery, as well as the 3 resistors required that I've found is required to reduce the heat down to basically nothing in the circuit. So there's going to be... I've created myself a to-do list today, and I'm going to try and stick to it, because I have a pretty good plan on how to redesign these fairies, but that does mean that this is basically garbage to me right now. We're going to start fresh with our sketch pad here. Get rid of this guy. So we have the body of our fairy, right? These Christmas bulbs that come with this screw-on connector on the bottom, which I think we're just going to cut off. We're going to make a cut here. That's going to create this opening here, in which we have these pill bottle compartments that fit a battery just perfectly. So what I want to do is fix this to the bottom of our bulb here. So then this is also a cap that we use to close the compartment, but we can also create a fixture on the bottom of it, and so there is an optional stand that we can actually attach to it. So if you wanted to display this guy as kind of a free-floating sculpture, then this, I'm hoping, is going to be like our base, and we'll have the cap there, even. So the pill bottle will sit inside here. So this could sit on a flat desk, right? And then we'll have to think about what the design of the wings, how they sit on the body. So make sure on me. We don't want them to impede it sitting on the desk or wherever it is, the surface it's sitting on. Then the other wings are somehow attached to it as well. Interested? Okay. Oh, you brought the mic closer to me. Actually. And then what I was thinking, find somewhere else to sit there. Or something. Alright, so what I was thinking then is the battery sits inside there. To have our resistors, so they go from right to it. Resistors, so these have to go into there. Careful. Ooh, that was a bit bad. So those are resistors, and then we want to get LEDs into this. So something I was thinking about the design, last week we were working with these ironically named fairy lights, and cutting them up into smaller colored smaller portions, just single LEDs. They're quite nice because they have the leads made of anodized steel or something, some kind of coated wire that you can allow the wires to touch and they're not going to short. But if you do cut them, you can still solder them together and the ends. So it might be nice to use that as maybe like fairy dust. Maybe they come out and kind of like have like a spring to them or something. It's just a light up the end. Interesting. Okay. Either way, that is just kind of a thought. We can wire those out, the slots that will be needed to cut for the wings. But the most important part is I want to create a series of LEDs around the casing of this pill bottle here, right? You are such a distraction. Okay. I was imagining, what if the cut to this Christmas bulb? It's actually got it's not even that small, or that big of a cut, sorry. It's Sharpie. Keep, it's been so long. It's nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Bottom of our, or sorry, yeah, it would be the bottom, the bottom of our bulb. So this hole here, right? That's good. I'm happy you're doing all right, Keep. Imagining then the LEDs would be attached to this, right? They're going to protrude out of the pill bottle itself. So imagine we're now looking at the bottom of the pill bottle here. If I were to actually bottom, I'm I'm thinking like there's an array of LEDs. Well, first there's got to be a few on the bottom here, so they're gonna kind of shine upwards out this way. Then I want to do a bunch around on the sides of it, so that they all shine out. I'm wondering if I could stack these in a strategic way. So now if we look again at the pill bottle profile, this, and then they kind of something like that, just kind of rotating all the way up. That way you could, I'm thinking, if it's only the two like that, the cut would be like this. I kind of drew some work here when I was thinking about this design. So if I made a cut of the if I made a cut of the, I'm not going to repeat that that message for the pill bottle, but then I also made a cut with these little nibs that would allow the LED to pass through, and as I'm inserting this, I can kind of rotate it, and those LED nibs would kind of rotate into those slots. And then once it's all in, like, it would save me from having to do a larger cut, which would make this kind of loose fitted in there. And then once that's in, we would hopefully still have that kind of ring there that allows me to glue these two things together. And so they're kind of like permanently affixed then. And that's the design, I think. We'll get into the circuitry design a little bit. I don't know, we're doing that right now. Let's do the circuit design then, I guess. So first up, we have, where is it hiding here? Got our 9-volt. From the plus, we need to go through one of our resistors, which is the 68 ohm. Again, I don't quite remember what any of that meant. I just did a lot of research almost a year ago. It's gone from my memory. When I only did one of them, though, there was a lot of heat. So if we add extra resistors, it will dissipate the heat and reduce it down. I found 3 was good enough to reduce it down to nothing. And then we're basically going to have our positive and negative kind of split off. It could split off many different kind of ways, but we always have then, I forget how to draw an LED. Electronics is pretty complicated, but you know, I'm using this as a personal challenge because I have this sword right here that I've been working on, and I may have ruined some electronic components trying to get it to work. I shorted 12 volts over the LEDs in it, and it's made me lose a lot of time and effort. So I'm gonna be better about it. And this is one of those times for me to learn and get some, build up my skills with electronics. So what I'm planning to do here is I want to basically this would be the pill bottle, but we're going to... What is the sign for an LED? If I remember correctly, it's just like one of those, or something like that. In circuits. Oh, no, I was way wrong. I think that is possibly another sign for a resistor. Or that is the sign for the resistor. It's this. That is our LED. Plus, I guess if you wanted to be technical, there's little light rays coming out. So, you can have, I think with this configuration, we're always going to be able to supply it the required power. Again, I need to learn more of this stuff. I just don't want to. But I should be able to just add as many LEDs to this as this can feasibly handle, as the 9 volts can feasibly handle. The resistors are just limiting, or they should be limiting, the amount of capacity provided to the remainder of the circuit. So if these do begin to dim, I should be able to remove one, and that additional heat, it would be dissipated in the form of used current here. That's my theory. Let's put it to practice. What this is then we can do like fairy lights. We can do any number of offshoots that seem like their own circuit, but in reality, they are just the same thing. Right? Like you could redraw that as just one line, and that is just sitting there. Because this doesn't actually affect this, doesn't affect this. Yeah, unless these are different types of LEDs. If one of them has a lower resistance, so this is what I have learned about this. For instance, the red one has a lower voltage capacity. So if these were blue, blue, red, blue, 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 the only one that would light up is the red one, because the energy wants to take the path of least resistance, which just so happens to be the red one. And if there is only one red one, all of that heat that is built up in the system, all that capacity wants to go through that one LED instead of all of them. And then that's when you'll get an explosion. We're not going to do that today. We're not going to allow explosions today. So what I was thinking was, going back to this illustration here, is that we set up a series of colored LEDs corresponding to our fairy types. So we have 3 different fairies that we're working with. We've got a blue tinted fairy, we've got a yellow tinted fairy, and we have a purple tinted fairy. So we kind of have to play with some of the colors in our LED configuration, but it's going to be kind of the fun of it, I think. That does also mean I do have to find a solution to this red, blue, blue configuration, because I want purple. It's going to be an interesting one. So, that is our circuit design. Structure and stand compartment is all good. What I am thinking is, if I can find extra versions of these caps, what to do is ultimately we're going to be selling these 3 fairies when they are completed. I like them so much that I want my own, then I will make a fourth one to sell. But I'm intending to sell these 3 fairies, and I think I'm going to provide 2 of these caps. One that is just a small one, allowing the fairy to rest on a table. And then the other one is kind of stealing this piece here to allow an armature attachment here. And so then that piece that I cut off here can be glued onto a second cap. This. So it would be something like that. Obviously, the clamp is not there. And then that would be able to attach to the bottom, and then all of a sudden we have an armature, allowing you to kind of, maybe if you have a cosplay, you can put this on your shoulder as a companion. So yeah, that's, I think, the overall premise. And then I was gonna talk about details and finishes a little bit. Yeah, we're going to be gluing on the skin of the fairy later today, but that is going to be after we cut some holes in the into the body of the fairy that the wings are going to be slotted into. If we do have the time for it, we'll get into the wing design later in the stream, but we still got a lot to get through. So first up, I want to test our LEDs, the whole circuitry here that we've created, to make sure that we can kind of light everything before we start sticking it into places that it's not going to be able to get out of. So let's set this armature aside. Come back to deconstructing this guy a bit later. I really like that snap. I really like that snap connection as a little socket with a actual twist on component. Makes it extremely sturdy and still slightly malleable, so you can kind of tweak the arrangement of whatever's on here. It's meant to be a phone stand, so you can do something like that. I really like the arm. That there for now. Play with electricity. So, like I said, I wanted to do this in the end, and that means the resistors are going to all kind of fit in the bottom there. Something I learned about resistors, you don't have polarity, which was something I didn't know before today. So I was worried that I was going to wire these up the wrong way, front or back. There is no front or back. So whoever are working with resistors, you don't have to worry about which is positive, which is negative, just so long as your total circuit is consistent. Grab a few alligator clips. Guys to stay positive, negative, and some safety glasses just in case we do overheat some LEDs and they decide to explode on us. So, I was thinking, LEDs. This is my little test LEDs configuration, but I'm thinking that we're actually going to have more LEDs than this. Currently there's only 6. I'm suspecting we're going to put a lot more than 6 on here. We'll see how many we can get away with. But for now, we'll do the 6 test to make sure that everything kind of works. Maybe we'll just see, I don't know, build up, keep adding more. So I'll show you, nothing much to show, but I will connect just one resistor. I'll just give you a little description on what it's like to touch it. So as we can see, no explosions, which is quite nice. If I were not to have included that resistor, this would definitely blow up. Every one of them would either just burn out, or we would actually have some catastrophic failures in which the caps might actually pop off. Me and my brother used to do that all the time when we were little. We would steal the infrared LEDs from remote controls, and if you overpower them, you can actually see reds coming out of them. That's just a different type of current reaction. That yeah, as much as I know of physics, I know that that's slightly different than what an LED is actually doing, because we're no longer seeing the infrared that it's supposed to be producing. We're seeing it actually like burning. And then if we added, I think we were actually using 9 volts. If we only did one of the LEDs, it would just like pew, and we would create like little guns that we could pop off the LEDs. And don't do this at home, kids. It's dangerous. So this has been a little bit, and there's been some time for this to heat up. And yeah, if I were to hold my hand on this, it would probably burn me. It's quite hot. So we're gonna disconnect that, and actually I'll replace this just so it can cool down on the side. I'll just use 2. And if you notice, the brightness didn't change. Pretty certain the brightness didn't change. Here, let's see. Oh, it does. It does change. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Hi, Diggs. I don't know what I want to do here. I like the brighter aspect of that, but 1 resistor is too hot. 2 resistors is better. How much darker is 3 resistors? Okay, so compare that to 2 and 1. It is kind of drastic. 2 versus 1. So I guess the alternative would be to just add more LEDs. More resistance, more LEDs. Oh, something fun for them to share for you keep. We're actually streaming over on Twitch as well, so I'm having other comments pop up from Twitch as well, so it's not just you sometimes. What do we want to do here? More LEDs? I think more LEDs. I think I want to design the array of LEDs that sit on this. I want to keep that down. just cut it. The scissors. Okay. So that's the center there. We have wondering if that's going to be, if we want more than just the two sides. If we do 3, then there's a better chance to... I'm thinking of the geometry. So we have to explain. We have a circle. We have an LED at the top. We have an LED at the bottom. They're going to cast a light that goes out this way. Potentially as much as that. Right. I want to reduce the amount of this shadowed area where the two lights don't kind of interact at all, because we're gonna have a shell here, and these are gonna cause geometry to cast onto these, where this is gonna be super bright and that's gonna be kind of its own brightness. So, with that aside, we'll have to work in 3 or 4 maybe. Yeah, 1. Something more like we're gonna have brighter chunks. I think that's less bad, if that makes sense, than the previous one. Perhaps we do 3 different layers. Rotates down. All of them. It's gonna be... I think that's going to be a better idea than to do the previous one. That means cut this into thirds. Just kind of move the whole thing over. 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 15. Perfect. 15. So 5, 5, and 5. Have an LED here. Here and here. Have an LED. Ooh. I'm thinking we just have 5 rows. Now let's do 4. Hey, Agent. So with that arrangement, kind of wish there was more. I feel like that spiral look is going to be very evident. Perhaps we don't. I need to flip some of these. Oh, it just reverses the spiral. Started using Clip Studio. Nice. Heard that one's very user-friendly. Do you have any future projects you're working on, Agent? What if center? There it is there, right? So this transposes 2 spots, transposes 1 spot, transposes 2 spots. Technically transposes 1 spot to the neighboring one. So yeah, I just like patterns. Portal? I love Portal. It's such a good game. I think I like that. And then we'll do an arrangement of probably 3 LEDs on the bottom. So, how do I want to wire that then? Each one needs to have a positive and negative come off of it. I could run a positive lead here, and here. Positive. Oh no, I can't. Working with dualities with groups of 3. That's a challenge as well. Pulling 6s. My right keep math people out there. Yes. I guess we're just gonna have to run positive and negatives down the whole side. Except for that's fine. Got a positive here, negative here. These guys. Oh, this is nice though. We can go, this is a positive, which is here. It's the same one as this one, right? This guy can come up, goes up this way. So it goes to a negative here. This is just a negative. So this is a positive, so is this. Oh, this is nice. This is nice and clean. I like this. Working in 3D. It's realized. Alright, I missed your messages here. Let me see. I stop motion. I love your stop motion, Legion. So good. I'm happy that you know how to edit. It's always good learning new tools. I have such a repertoire for softwares. But once you have a good grasp on one or two softwares, you'll kind of understand like the language of how everything works. Like copy and paste are like universal functions, right? And there's a lot of programs that kind of have those similar kind of functions. So I would really recommend you look up the secondary functions of Alt, Control, and Shift. I guarantee that they'll have something, and it'll help you kind of maneuver in your program a lot quicker. Just a little tip. So we have this going on. We need to clean it up. Basically, this is our unraveled cylinder. Anyways, I should just do this. This guy, this guy. Can I draw even over that? Yeah, it'll stay. It's positives. Positives. Moves over to here. And then we have negative. Do for green our LEDs. We have this way. This guy, we have this way. We don't have the negative for a result. There's one. Oh, no, this is a negative. Oh, who did it to? I messed this drawing. I messed this drawing up. This is a red. Oh, I just it doesn't work. Let's try again. I remember that we are working with a 5 rows of 5. Well, if you do a Portal video, I do look forward to seeing it. Played both Portal games probably a half dozen times. We have these guys. Goes down to 8. Also going to do here. I can literally draw this circle here. This is the bottom of our cylinder, which is going to have 3 LEDs on it. 3. I messed it up. And there's an LED here, here. This one is the same. It's going to technically be right here as well. It just wraps around on itself. So I guess I'll draw 2 halves. To it's in the center. Here. Goes down to one space. Here. Here. Those are all our internal LEDs. They're in development of Portal 3? I don't know about that. That's been Where did you hear this? I would question that news. Okay, so we need positive line for them. This is a positive line, which feeds them. This guy has no positive. That becomes the problem. So then we draw a positive nearby, and we're going to have our negatives, which I'm going to go right to blue for. So these guys go to the negative there, these guys go to a negative here, these guys go to a negative here, there, and this guy goes to a negative where he's connected to here, goes to this negative. Okay. So we have a negative coming off this here and here. I'm just not going to draw the circuit diagram. Look. Red one, draw our positives. So this will be a positive one here, and here, here. So this one now has the negative and the positive. There's that there. These guys. This will be a little bit more interesting. So ultimately we need to have all of our wires connecting back up to somewhere in the bottom here. We're gonna have draw pencil just so I can erase if I make a mistake. We have our battery. It's much smaller than that actually. We have our negative and we have our out, and it's going to have 3 resistors in it. 2, 3. And it needs to go to positives. Thinking these ones. These need to get connected to this, and this needs to get connected to that. This is already one and the same. So go to here, go to here. So I could do my connections. Ooh, I like this. That's our circuit. That's a lot to do. What'd you say? I don't know about that, Agent. You're collaborating with another animator. Very nice. Collaborations is the way to go. Where do we start with this? I don't want to get my hands dirty. Let's count up our LEDs to see how many we actually have. Not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And it's questionable whether I want to do fairy dust, which would be made out of these little fairy LEDs. Which work in a pretty simple way. Like, they already have the positive and minus leads, like quite lengthy ones already soldered up. So it would just be about finding places for to attach them. I think we'll do a test. So I think we have several tests to do. Test 1, to get 15 LEDs wired with resistors. And we need to ultimately decide, do we go 3 of them, or 2 of them, or just 1? Okay, second test. Let's add in our fairy lights, which I believe we had 12 of them. So I had last stream selected a number of fairy lights for each fairy. I want to do a test to see how many resistors, or if at all, these affect the circuit, if we add them in. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, Agent, take care. Thanks for stopping in. I don't know why I feel the need to store these in here. It's just, I'm not even going to be using these battery compartments anymore. It's just convenient at this point. We want to test. After this is tested, I want to make sure that these are I can still change them out. And we're going to plus 10 and we'll see how that affects the number of resistors. We'll just leave room for a note. And then at that point, I think we'll kind of have an understanding of whether we want to use them or not, and we'll be able to go on to soldering up the actual component itself, making one small little cohesive compartment that is going to just plug right into the body of the fairy here. It's going to be so much cleaner than the design we had last week. I'm really excited. I'm going to go take a quick break. I'm going to go make myself a tea, and when we get back, we're going to be using a lot of alligator clips to test this. I might think of... I'm going to think on some other ways that I can join these circuits all together. I'm sure I have something lean about. Give me about 10-15 minutes. We're back in a bit. Not that one. This one. this entire time. Thank you. I'm glad I read that. I'm sorry, I forgot to press the unmute button. I thought I did. Very weird. Let me go back. So, in the last live stream, we were talking about adding color. Oh no, I spilled it. It's too rambunctious. Luckily, it's just... Okay. So, Navi is blue. Gonna be blue tinted. We'll get to kind of the fairy wings at the end of the stream. I've got ideas, but basically she's going to be transparent with a blue tint, and then for the LEDs I want to do a blue and white configuration. So that's kind of what the test bundle here has been. It's a combination of blue and white, and I think it gives off quite a beautiful look, especially to the camera. I kind of like that shimmer. So that's going to be Nappy. Tattle is going to have a yellow tint, so translucent with yellow paints, and she's going to have just white LEDs. So the white is going to be kind of accenting all of the yellow and gold paints that I use inside of her. And then for Tail, he's got just blue LEDs. Oh, interesting. I think I decided to just do a purple tint, and that's how I resolved the problem of not being able to light him. But I prefer the challenge of trying to get red LEDs working with this as well. So I want blue and red LEDs, and the concern with that is the blue LEDs have a higher capacity, and so the red LEDs 2.3 volts, 2.3 volts. They're going to try and take all of the power from the circuitry because it's the path of least resistance. So I think that means we'll just have to add an extra resistor in front of any red LED. That's the interesting one we'll have to play with. And why we're doing these tests. Okay. Still trying off from my tea spell. Let's do it. I feel like I'm gonna drain this. I need to get rechargeable 9 volts, which also means I need to get 9-volt chargers. Extra purchases, but I think if I am selling these, well, batteries sold separately, or I could probably do like an additional fee and just at cost whatever the rechargeable battery is. I think I prefer the option of being able to provide that. I like 9-volt though because it is kind of like a typical battery that you can just pick up anywhere. I had thought about using some USB battery banks, but the moment that breaks, then I feel like whoever owns this object won't want to go through the effort of finding a new battery bank, and so it will be a garbage thing, so I don't want that to happen. Building for longevity. So we want to divide up, I think, my blue and white ones. We have 15 LEDs. So for Navi, I'm thinking she's more blue than she is white. So I'm debating just, I don't have to be so... so equal. The 3 down here is what kind of makes it challenge. Because then she has sort of a more blue would be, if 2 of them are blue, then more blue will cast over that direction than the other. I have also thought about this and how it's sitting on this, it might be worthwhile to kind of have it sitting off of it a little bit. Like maybe I insert this cage of LEDs into the body, and then we just insert this. And so once we've inserted this cage of LEDs in here, we can kind of like maybe poke and prod at it to expand out the cage itself to give room for this. Does that make sense? It's kind of where my head is at the moment. The alternative is just like building this completely on here so that it's a lot more rigid. If this gets bumped and knocked, then the cage of LEDs won't like short out or anything. It's probably a bit safer too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go that way, because if I do a loose cage and I put it in there and I start pushing and prodding at it, then I break a solder. Back to this point, that would be very, very annoying. So yeah, I like the idea of having a rigid structure to work off of. So, blue, blue, white. White. So, oh, it is 8 blue. I was thinking it was going to be 8 blue. 7 white, and we have Tattle. She is just white LEDs, so that's a very simple one. It's just 15 white. This is an interesting one. I'm thinking we're gonna go pretty conservative on the red. Go conservative on the red number of LEDs. I'm thinking 5. I suspect the reds will need to have an additional resistor connected up to its string, so, or its positives. This arrangement will have to kind of be thought differently for the... I'll think harder on that one when we get to it. Let's start with navigating. Have 6 here. Wondering, I think I want to do bundles of 5. 7 isn't very... 7 is a prime number, it doesn't divide into anything. Yeah, but 8 and 7. Okay, so... Come to say hello? Come on now. Come on. Hey. So we got... I think what I'll do is I'll divide these into like quadrants. Quadrants, that's implying 4. I'll divide these into zones. The bottom is 1 zone. Yeah, he agrees. And then... this. So we have... This is a zone. Yes. It's only 4. You're in the way now. You're officially in the way. Okay. Love you. Bye-bye. So, 1 zone, 2 zones. I guess this is 3 zones? Which is this one here? 4 zones. Benny? No. 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 So 3 groups of 4 and 1 group of 3. The losing battle. We've got a moment. Blue. It's more blue to divide it. Need some more of these guys too. Those. Fairy lights in a minute. First test. We can get all of these powered at the same time. So this means we need to do polarity tests. Positive 0. So my problem with these fairy lights I deconstructed last week, they have the polarities at the same length, the wires, so I can't tell which ones are the positives and which ones are the negatives. But typically an LED comes with a one length is slightly longer than the other one. So there we go. That's that longer one is the positive one. But even if you're not sure of that, as long as you're consistently making sure your long ones are together and your short ones are together, then your LEDs will be wired properly. They'll all turn on or they won't, so you'll know to flip your polarity at the end or not. This clustered together. One group. Two groups. Remaining one just like general. these alligator clips that I was using for other projects. Ends, I knew I was holding on to them for a reason. So, positives. I'll just make sure all my positives are white ones, I guess. Say white or maybe yellow. Which one do we need? This. And then this end, just gonna do a little. There we go. Now I can just hook on to that with another alligator if I need to. But I can also, that means I can group these together. That's one. I'm starting to think that person is, there's a Twitch person that just keeps on saying the same thing when he comes in. I don't know if he just wants recognition. I do see you. These groupings, I think I have to twist them together. So you can already see that jostling them too much, they're going to start shorting. Positively, it's going to hit a negative lead. I just can't remember which one was the longer one. I think it's this one. I'm gonna find an easier way to do this. Really need those breadboards. Damn it. Let's try that again. Probably someone out there is just like screaming. Why are you doing it this way? Doing it this way. I'm not even using the pliers anymore. Too cumbersome. No shorts. These guys are really going to be my test ones because I don't like these ends. I'm going to want clean ones. This one's just awful. I need to find a better way to do this. It'll take me too long. Not having a good time. I'm like straight up not having a good time with this. Hmm. I could be way wrong. Some of these could be really not fired correctly. Any other? Kind of lost track which one was some of these, which one was the longer one. Got all mangled a little bit, and so I couldn't really track it. So if some of them don't light up, then I'll know that that's one is in reverse. I think we can. Oh no, we have one more to do. I was so hopeful that we were done. Found that one much easier to put together. Maybe just like being slow and methodical. Don't think about it. Or don't try to do all four at once. Bring these all together. This guy I can probably just sneak into. Sneak into here, that's what I was thinking. We're going to take our resistors, still tied together, all three. Crossed. Some of them are like Something's messed up. I could probably So besides getting one of the polarities wrong, I say this is a successful test. Can even bring that polarity back, or bring that extra LED in here. Watch, I put this in here and it just like all goes down. We can only handle 14 LEDs. That would be very surprising, seeing how bright they are right now. Get on there without making a distinction. Here we go. Oh. There. Alright, so it can handle 15 pretty easily. That's good news. And at 2 resistors, it's not too hot. Very curiously placed there. Wants to quote. Next up, we want to see. I want to get this guy in there properly. Get on my circuit. Okay, that's working. We need to get our fairy lights now going. Okay. He's bad boys. Now, if I remember correctly, this is just a strand of 20 or 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I was right. 20. If I were to just plug these in. No, that won't happen. Curious though if I can. Saw it there for a second, right? Yeah. It makes it a lot dimmer, eh? I can actually get it to go. Test. Let's get this properly wired in there then. I know where it can work. Just to actually wire into these is challenging. I could solder it right now, but I'll probably have to go with a crappy connection. Yellow and yellow. No, I can't get a good contact. The problem is these wires. They have a coating on them, so you can't short them, right? The only way to actually connect into them is that the ends of them, where they've been cut, that's still conductive. What I really want to just do is get this powered and then take one of the resistors out and see if it starts overheating on me. Because if it doesn't, can use this as fairy dust. Come back. So this is actually double the LEDs that I would probably want, but I know they draw a lot less voltage than these ones. I guess what I could say is that half of the brightness that we lose. See how dimmer they get? So obviously they have a pretty significant impact on the resistance. I'm wondering if that added resistance is enough to keep these guys cool, and we can just get away with using just one. Currently we're using just two. Break the connection there, and here. Okay. Yeah, it's getting pretty warm. What I don't want to happen is that this gets too hot inside the battery compartment, and then it causes the battery to catch on fire. Yeah, it's getting too hot. So we'll play it safe. We'll be using two. You know what? Let's monitor that one. Because 3 feels like it's gonna... show you the same test here. Can I just do it, please? No, Benny, I'm just gonna get it to work. Such a janky. Alligator foot there. Okay. Is the extra heat reduction worth that brightness loss? We also get an added bonus of a longer battery. So the more resistance we add into it, the more or less energy we're requiring from the battery, and less heat produced and wasted as energy. Hi. Is that... contemplating here for a moment. By the way, I kind of like the fairy dust. I kind of like that. The idea of it. Yeah, with 3, I don't feel any heat on these at all. So, the more I think about it, the more we're leaning on 3. Yeah. He grabbed me there. He's like, no, don't let go. Order. No, don't play with that. That's gross. I know. Looks like a toy, but it's not. So this one, I almost guaranteed that it was going to work. I was like, I'm wiring it up for my own assurance. It's going to be basically the exact same scenario for the second fairy, which is all white LEDs, just changing out the blue LEDs for white ones. So that's fine too. But we need to do the other one. The blues and the purples. So this one's actually going to be quite different. This guy I need to flag somehow. There's something wrong with that. But these guys are good for testing. I should make nominal sizes, like this is a pack of 3 LEDs that we can test with. This is a pack of 4 LEDs that we can test with. This is actually the 6. This is my 6 LEDs. So it might be helpful to keep these aside. Scenario. So we're not going to use any more white LEDs for this next test. Yeah, my cat he loves everything that we're doing in here. He just loves the attention. He wants to be a star. Blues are the same as white, voltage requirement-wise. So I'm going to take my 6 here, and this 4 here. Maybe that's the 4 that isn't busted. But we can test it. If it is, then we'll make this 3, or this 3 into the 4. Okay. Just need to make a 5 of reds. Feeling inclined to do 3 and 2. Set up 3 resistors. I'm just going to make sure that all of our blues and whites are correctly. So resistors on this side here. Negatives all connecting to here. Okay. One of them are working. So that's 10. I fear if I were to connect these without a resistor between here, they'll blow. I don't want to try it. But I do want to try it. I don't, but I do. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I don't think anything toxic comes off of these. I don't think so. I'm just gonna do the 2. Just gonna see what happens. Let's see what happens. Oh, it doesn't want to blow. But it does want to take all of the power. Oh, one of them's negative. Uh-oh. And that's what's going on already. Yeah. I do know what this means, right? I'm pretty sure they're just gonna just go down. Not black, just red. See how they take all of the power? It's the path of least resistance. One of them burnt out, I could hear it. And it's smoking now. I don't know if you can see that. Nope. So that's what can go wrong. I am actually going to throw these guys out now.
Well, you can even like a little weld it together. And I'm in here. But no explosions. That's unfortunate. It's a little warm. I was gonna put it in the garbage, but let's not start a fire. What we want to do is make sure that that doesn't happen. We want to make sure that it doesn't draw all of the power from the whole circuit. Because once it does, then it'll start to wear, and one of the LEDs will burn out, like it did on that guy, and then all of the power will be going through just one LED, and that's going to just create a sort of like a circuit inside of a toaster. Red hot, and they'll start to smoke, and it'll quickly burn. Catch on fire. That's science with Dylan. Once again, don't do that at home, kids. So, now that we know what can go wrong, let's try to make this go right. So we we have 3 and 2 to be the 5 that we need. What we're going to need to do is add some resistance between it and the regular circuit. Let's see if 1 just works. Did it. Alright, now I want to make sure that this guy doesn't get too hot. So I question if it's in the right place. Perhaps. So that goes to here. It's still the exact same thing. What happens if to here. That means this guy is only going through 1 resistor, and then this guy is going through 3 resistors. Building up anywhere. I think we need to keep this running for a little bit. Yeah, I want to watch this, specifically this circuit, to see if we have any burnouts. Like a millennial on his 3rd internship, we're gonna keep a close eye on this guy. Gonna take a quick break. I'll be back in about 10 minutes. I'm gonna do the be right back screen. Can we see this still? Where is a good spot for these? See that red? Do us all a favor. I'll take out that. See this. So if you're really bored, you can, like watching paint dry, you can see if any of these guys burn out. I'll be back in about 10. And we're back. And I remember the mic this time. Alright, so checking things out. Nothing's warm there. If anything, it's our cheap ass alligator clips that their connection at the resistor, it starts to get a little warm. But that shouldn't happen with a nice clean solder. Yeah. So I think we're good. I think I am comfortable with these tests done, but I need to write some stuff down. So this was definitely the case. And yes, definitely I want to do variants. We're going to play with that one probably next week. There's other things to focus on. There's resistors that we need to track for these three guys. First, say A, B, C. A is pretty typical. Same with B. This is A and B. C, on the other hand, gets a little more different. There, Benny. I'm wondering. Just go C. The only addition was positive going out. Resistor. Which goes two ways. Out. 10 blue. We have a resistor. Five red. Fairy lights can go wherever. That's the general premise. Okay. On to that. Let's go back to our checklist. Where are we on that? A lot of papers here to organize. Paper. This one likes to mulch. It's a keeper. Those are chocolates. And there. Right, let's cut our compartment hole. It's gonna be a fun one. And it's gonna require a dust mask. Already marked where I want to, but now I think debating just using a utility knife. Alternatively, I think this is saw that I picked up over the way. I want to try to saw just to get rid of this big nut.
so bad. Now I know the perfect tool for this. I don't have one though. Like these internal carvers that you can get. Something I could use. I don't want to use a thermal.
I think I used the knife and I try to be careful. I don't like how careful I have to be. I'm just too careful. Where did my... There. Like it. Very thick. That's working. Both working and not working. Thinking this is the solution. I just then we'll need to carve out here a little bit. Still a little ways away. I've hit the mark, but now I need to basically drill half of this. I think. Why are these the only two I have in here? Definitely need bigger holes. Leaning this direction. But let me see if I can't find those drill bits. Inch. Inch is closest to it, definitely. It's the biggest I have. So I guess that's where we're going. This is gonna be very challenging to do. Like, with a drill. I'm just trying to imagine trying to hit that dead center. Near impossible. I'm wondering if I could just use this as a tool to, like, file. Ooh, I can. It's not damaging the part. That's good. I like this. Use for little bits. And like, that's a clean hole too. I just need to keep going until I have the right diameter. I'm really happy with that. Using these smaller ones, it's easier because it has like a tighter blade, maybe. It just takes off glass. Does this sound awful? I can turn the volume down. Might be easier with the bigger one. Might do better curves. It's giving me difficulty. Better worn it out. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I just couldn't get the right leverage there. Ooh, we're getting close. Very close. nice. So then it has like a little stand. This is actually glued. Restriction there. Cute little stand. That's pretty adorable. Really liking that. Okay. Now, I technically have to do that 2 more times. But for brevity, we're going to skip that. And we're going to do all that. The other 2 off camera. At least this kind of stuff. We'll paint things all in one go. Cut compartment hole, done. Design battery compartment. That is basically done. No, it's not. It's not done at all. Alright, have to actually figure out how we're getting the battery installed in this bad boy. Let's do some cleanup. We have some space. Take this out to use. Done with the alligator clips for now. No, because we also need to test the clarity before we do any soldering. So I'm gonna just set all of those. Vicinity. You guys have cooled down. You can literally see the burn marks on them. Can you? Sorry. It's hard to navigate. Little charg. These guys for testing too. Tools we're using, but not right. But running out of desk space. Right. Very carbon. We're starting with Navi, who is the same basic construction as Tattle as well. Tail is a bit different. There are 3 resistors in this guy. 3 resistors in this guy. There are 4 resistors. This guy. only have one battery for now. And another problem. These are recycled from a previous project of mine where I wasn't as comfortable using 9 volts then, so I didn't have resistors on hand. So it came with certain connectors that I was using for another project, a lamp that I was making. These out. And, look, we have a snap and a little switch. It's perfect. A little casing that, I don't know. Maybe it'll find a use somewhere else. So unfortunately, we only have 2 of those at the moment. We need to get a third sometime. I remember where I got those, so I can go pick them up sometime. Just not right now. Either way, we're gonna focus on one, and it's gonna be Nabby, the first one. So I'm gonna drop that to here. I'm feeling up to it, then we'll do this one as well. But one of the ones that we don't have the snap button to, we're gonna set it aside. Also, the more I've been doing this, the more I've been realizing that I want to make a 4th one, so I get to keep it. So I get to actually replace this guy, and maybe well, maybe I'll just make my own fairy, give them their own name. Alright, do some fan art. What's all the fan art? Okay. So we have these 3. I'm thinking that they're gonna go somewhere in here. But inside. Right? They would get wired to go boop, boop, back and forth, kind of. This. Debating still whether to use the switch or not. It could be handy. Sorry, that's unpleasant sounds. The switch was like on the body. So we have the wings. I guess now is a good time to show off what we were working on last week and where I got to. Let's show these guys off. I've been using the jumping ahead to next week's stream when we actually make more of these. But I'll show you how I made these next week. This week's been all about the electronics. But yeah, I made these guys using acetate and recycled plastics. I'm just kind of using this to illustrate how things are going to kind of go together. Play with this too much because I was actually planning to use that material quality of getting the fluid pulled up like that. Add some nice texture. So next week we're going to be making a pair of these. I'll be showing you how I got to this step, but then also next week, we're going to be painting these ones specifically. They're going to be dried up better and prepared for adding paint. And at that point, we're going to be able to kind of start assembling things together. It should be pretty fun. But going back to this switch idea, I got these out because I wanted to use them kind of as a reference. Sorry, you guys are upside down. Would you like me to turn you around? I could do that easily. Cable. It's kind of a weird angle, but you're there, right? I think so. This is some of that quality entertainment you guys have been looking forward to, right? I think that works. Come down over here. I don't like it. Alright, let's use I've used this other clip a total of no times. But I put it up here for a reason. I just need to do one of these. This works, right? I think this works. I'm still upside down. I didn't even resolve the problem I was trying to fix. Funny, because I could have just done it in software. In software probably would have been easier. Yeah. Yeah. Let's live with that. Let's fix this other camera. That's got all moved about. I need an editor or assistant. I cannot. Good. What do you think? Yeah, I like that. It's very tight in here right now. But it's gonna do for the rest of this stream, I think. So, gonna have a brief intermission. Are we? Very. Oops. What would it be like if we had a little switchy switch in there? Where would we want to put it? I don't have the little wings yet, but I just don't have them glued together yet. I'm gonna have that all glued together for next week. We're on stream. We'll just be assembling one of the wing packages here. These assemblages, and then we'll be spending the rest of the stream making them pretty. All right. I am leaning towards having the switch. I kind of do like that. If we had it inside. Might be room for it. Put that in there. Ooh, there's room for it. Good. Just like I kind of. It would be easier if this wasn't all together as one piece or something. That could stay, I suppose. works and it doesn't work. I mean, we could carve out a little space for it. I like the idea that it's completely concealed inside here. But the alternative is that you could just have the snap buttons there and you can unsnap them. This might be way easier. Or just like take the battery out. But I think the snap buttons need to come, like you need to attach it to this side and then put it in here, you know, like a ribbon or something. Extra coil is right here. So you need to be able to get it out. You put the snap buttons in here and then you put it in here. In order to get that battery out, you're either going to need tweezers or you need to do this, which once we have all of our wings and everything assembled onto there, I'm just asking to break it. So yeah, I think it needs to go in this way. It means our snaps go on this way. That's fine because this needs to be broken down a bit more anyways. That there, it also prevents the battery from falling too far into the compartment, and I kind of want to put the resistors and everything down in that compartment. And it still closes. Good. Good. I like that. This needs to be loose, wired up to the bottom in here. We need to make a functional piece of resistors here. This needs to get out of my hands. Great. So, where did we sit on switch? I still kind of do like the switch. I mean, it feels semi-practical. I just had an idea. I just had a really cool idea. These switches allow for power to change, not just from being on and off. This goes from being on one track to being on the second track. We could have fairies that turn green. Because that's what they do when they are like trying to get your attention. Ooh, my brain just got like, it just nerded out a little bit. I'm kind of excited about this prospect that we can change the resistance to make this a green fairy. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Okay. Yes, hi digs, by the way, 7. So we need to take a step back. We aren't going to get all of this done. I now want to focus on how we can make the greens work. And then I think that's where the stream is going to have to get called, because we are already at 3 hours, and yeah, there's so much we can do in one day. So I'm going to go put these somewhere to dry. Finish drying. So let's just get us applied. When I get back, We're gonna play with green LEDs for a second. Basically doing all of that stuff. We're gonna play with the switch for a second. We're gonna make sure that I can actually get that to work. So that's a really fun idea. So, back in 5. There we go. Alright, let's get some green LEDs wired up and make sure that kind of works and we don't burn them out. They're gonna have to have the same kind of resistance as the... Oh no, never mind. Greens are identical to blue. So, fine. Huh. I guess we just start plotting this, I suppose. Let me remove this. Sorry, Oliver. So, if I could just pass all of the resistance through the switch, or pass through. Let me rephrase. I could put the resistance between the battery and the switch. That's exactly what I will do. Because also, whoever designed these switches, it feels like it wants less than that. But I could be wrong. What do you think? Yeah. Here's our in-house electrician. Man, am I doing everything correct? Yeah. Good. Okay, so this is our negative, which we could consider the positive anyways, or no? I see. The center is what's consistent. Okay, so power through the center. Positives to the center here. Right. Switch. Got a little 9-volt battery guy here. Big one. Yeah, am I doing it right? Yeah? Negative. Uh-huh. Oh, thanks. That goes up. And then there's the switchy guy here. T flip-flops. What are you doing? That goes in the middle connector, right? But we need to put 1, 2, 3 resistors there. I'll just do this times 3. And this go. Okay, yeah, I know what to do. So the switch doesn't have to do with providing power to the entire circuit or not. It's like it doesn't turn the fairy on or off. It turns the fairy from its regular color to green. That means that whenever there is a battery plugged in, it's going to be lit up, basically. So other things about the fairy that I want to be separate from that switching process are the fairy lights. So I'm just going to put that in and put a little F for fairy lights. And there times some unknown number. And that goes to our here, right? And we have here, which is our these will be our blue or whatever. Blue/white times 15. This is our green times 15. That's kind of interesting though, because that means we need to that entire diagram. Like we need to duplicate it. A lot of work. but I love the added functionality, so I want to do it. So I think we should. Basically, we will need to put a lot of... Sorry. We'll need to put a lot of components onto this. There is... Goodness, this is going to be interesting. That means the switch is right here. Right. And there is... Oh, but they're all hot. This is... Yeah, it just moves where the positive is. Black is confusing me because it's not a negative. It's just that the positive comes in and it either continues out this way or it continues out the other way. That means right now it's continuing out the one way. We'll basically have this whole thing duplicated out the other direction as well. Comes back in to negative as well. Wanna work. Wanna work, baby. Got is it 5? Kind of clawing into my arm here. This doesn't feel good. Oh. 6, 8. I think Benny agrees with my electronics here. Okay. Alrighty. Got blue LEDs and green LEDs. Make me itchy. So, the ones that are for certain. Let's start with the blues. The basic... This wire diagram is kind of me simplifying to see where my crossovers would occur. It's probably not actually how I'm going to wire them all up. I will probably have a lot more crossovers. So I am just going to start by placing everything out, and we may end up wiring like a positive at the top, a negative at the bottom, and there'll be like wires that come up and down from this. We'll see how messy it looks in like actual construction, and then we'll look to find ways to just simplify. So next guy is here, and then here, and then now I basically want to do the exact same thing, just transposing the thing over by or by 2 spaces. So the greens are always kind of in between. Okay. Oh, and then we have the 3s on the bottom. Now I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3. So we know we have to supply power to these guys. 1, 2, 3. I'm just hoping that I can get all of this kind of in a tight little package that fits into this, and fits into this, and is completely concealed with like its opaque skin. Fingers crossed. We may need to end up like painting the wires that are around all of the LEDs white, or covering them in aluminum foil or something. Probably maybe look for some. I'm leaning on white paint because it is highly reflective, but it's not going to be conductive. That's the word. Okay. So we have 2 circuits that need to go into this. That's not going to be fun to deal with. Okay. So positives. And the great thing about the negatives is that all of them can feed into one negative, which just goes right to the battery. Same thing. It's the positive that is being directed through the switch. So those are the positives for blues. We need to supply or get negative out of it. Just be like some crossover that occurs. The negatives. I can't see. It's almost feeding time. Oh, it is feeding time. Sean, feed you? I'll be done stream, so finished as I need. positives. We just need to pull the negative out of all of it. Get all the negativity out of here. Thinking. I kind of think at that point it's just like rally everything all up, connect all the ends, you know? They all go to the negative. I feel like this is a design in the moment process. I have the general method to assemble it, maybe? I don't know. I'm developing a headache looking down at these. I think I need to go eat dinner. And we're gonna wrap it up. It feels like we didn't do a whole lot, but it was. We really prepped ourselves up to, you know, make a nice compact fairy that last week I thought was not even a possibility that I could do. So I'm pretty happy about that. But we're getting into a territory now where I've done no planning. And the amount of circuitry that I was expecting to do has now doubled. And my brain is starting to spin a little bit thinking about it. So I think we're gonna call it. I appreciate you guys joining me today, though. This has been great. We did a lot. Sorry. Mainly this. This is a big win. Next week we are going to be focusing on more of the kind of like the aesthetic of everything. I will have this sorted out, but if not, then we will be designating a stream to this in itself. It's just next week. I think we need to really focus on the body and get these kind of glued down. I was hoping to do that, but we kind of got lost in the weeds a little bit with the switch, but that's okay. Thank you for joining me. If you've been enjoying the things that I've been producing here in the studio, well, hit subscribe, like wherever they are, follow if you're on Twitch. What else? Patreon, I post exclusive stuff over there. You're getting, if you really like Zelda stuff, especially Fairies, I am starting a 6-part giveaway series, or a 6-part coloring book series thing. I've lost the thought. There's coloring books on Patreon that you can get. Coloring pages. See, I'm over promising. Coloring pages. You get one once a month. We gotta call it. Thanks. We actually have a patron. His name is... Dude. That's him. Right there. Thanks, dude. I don't even know if you watch. He literally just found me on Reddit and was like, I really enjoy your art. And then he signed up because of that. So, again, if you like fairies, Hylian fairies specifically, then you're gonna like what I posted over there. So go check it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all Friday. All the best. See, I waited too long now, and I have to wait until it gets funny again, and I guess that's right about